What do you know about nuclear energy?
What is there to know? I know everything.
I know like nothing, just stuff from movies and TV shows.
It can be super dangerous.
Oh, it's harmful for the environment, right? Causes mutants. But I know that, this much energy is 100,000 barrels of oil?
I know that nuclear energy provides a lot of baseline power in the United States. A lot of people don't realize that.
Do you think it's harmful to live near a nuclear power plant, and why?
It sounds dangerous. I don't know, living near any kind of plant sounds unhealthy.
I've heard people say it's bad, but I don't know anyone with any defects. I don't know any studies on it. It's probably just as harmful to use a microwave or have a cell phone near your head.
I think it is, just because of the runoff from the nuclear, because the waste material that they put, you're putting waste nuclear material in water, and the water gets heated up, and if you're using the heat near streams and wherever that water comes, and you try to swim in the stream, man, you might be like, I don't know, radioactive or something.
Okay, yeah, so I do think it's dangerous. For what reasons, I have no idea, but I just feel like it's been a common consensus that it's dangerous to live near a nuclear power plant.
Well, from what I've read, it's not actually any more harmful than living next to, say, a coal power plant, because there's a lot of pollutants and actually radioactive particles coming out from coal power plants, and I wouldn't really have any concerns living next to one.
An estimated 3 million Americans live within 10 miles of a functional nuclear power plant. The radiation exposure from living near a nuclear power plant is insignificant and poses no threat to the health of the public. Claims that radioactivity from nuclear plants has caused negative health effects have been refuted by numerous state departments of health and other independent studies.
What do you think is meant by a reactor going critical?
A reactor going critical? That just sounds bad.
Sounds like it's dying.
The rods aren't cooled and things start heating up, things start melting, and radiation starts leaking out. And if that starts happening, then I would want to start seeing people with 3 eyes. But until that happens, hey.
Reactor going critical is when there's enough radioactive material in there for it to sustain itself in a reaction.
Critical operation means that a reactor is controlling a sustained fission chain reaction where each fission event releases a sufficient number of neutrons to maintain an ongoing series of reactions. In the balanced state of criticality, fuel rods inside a nuclear reactor are producing and losing equal numbers of neutrons, so the nuclear energy system is stable.
Which is less harmful to the environment, coal-fired power plants or nuclear power plants?
I guess nuclear, because coal is also bad for your lungs.
When I think the environment, I kind of think of the human populace, and I know for sure breathing in smoke is harmful for the lungs. So I'm gonna have to say nuclear energy, because it's all contained. Everything's contained until they take out the toxic waste, but they just bury it underground. So
Coal, filthy, filthy coal.
I think that nuclear power plants are less harmful because coal power plants are putting out greenhouse gases all the time.
Nuclear energy is one of the cleanest energy sources in America. According to the EPA and the Nuclear Energy Institute, nuclear energy prevents the emission of pollutants like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and greenhouse gases that are typically associated with coal-fired power plants. A University of Wisconsin study found that nuclear energy's life cycle emissions are less than those of hydro, solar, and biomass, and on par with wind and geothermal.
How many commercial nuclear power plants are operating in the U.S.?
I like the number 80.
I knew this number at one time. I want to say 200, but I think it's more like 50.
Maybe around 10.
Oh, must be 1,000. Yeah, no more than that.
I don't know this one. I'd say in the range of 70.
There are 62 commercial nuclear power plants operating in the United States for a total of 100 nuclear reactors across 31 states. In the state of Texas, there are 2 commercial nuclear power plants, the Comanche Peak Nuclear Power Plant in Somerville County and the South Texas Project Electric Generating Station near Bay City, Texas. Overall, nuclear energy provides 20% of the nation's electricity.
As we have shown, our interviewees had a few misconceptions about the nuclear energy industry. One other common misconception concerns the nuclear waste generated by nuclear power plants. While many Americans believe that nuclear waste has no use to us, plutonium and uranium, which make up about 98% of used nuclear fuel, can be recycled to make new fuel and byproducts for use with a reactor.